Look at this. It's snowing. It's Christmas time and I'm here. Just take it in. just just get the winter in you, eh? Last year around this time I was in India, which is where I'm born and raised. And today I'm back to Canada. This season I'm here and I was fortunate enough to celebrate Christmas in Canada this time. Now, what does Christmas mean to individuals? And what does Christmas mean to me? Or what does Christmas mean to people? Okay? That's the question. Well, a lot of people have a lot of associations with Christmas. And for me, Christmas has been really special because since I came to Canada, every year I was invited to one place or the other, or one dinner or the other, by someone. Someone did invite me over to their place, and they had me join their family for a meal, and they showed me how they celebrate Christmas here. Before that, when I was in India, I had no idea about how it is authentically done. I just knew that this is a festival. I knew and I heard the stories about Jesus when I was growing up through my mom and through local churches, because my mom would take me to church every year just because she wanted me to be educated on world religions. Though I did not grew up in a Christian family. I never grew up in a Christian family, but my mom was open towards every religion, and she took me to churches or other religious places for me to kind of experience how people live and how people do. And so I was always curious about it, and when I got a chance to be here and celebrate Christmas in the authentic way here in Canada, I was left with nothing but a lot of gratitude. It's beautiful how people celebrate it here, exchanging gifts, family coming together, and so nice of them to welcome me. And I cherish all of those memories, and I continue to do so. So I just want to take this time and this moment to talk about the teachings of Jesus Christ. Again, I'm not being a preacher here because I don't know. I don't know much, okay? I don't know the whole story. I don't know everything about every religion in this world. I don't even know if I even understand all the things. But I do know for sure that a lot of the things that I heard about Jesus and a lot of the stories that did fall on my ears left a deep impact on me. I want to reflect light on the topic of love here. And why I talk about Jesus and love at the same time is because there is one kind of love that we are fed as we are growing up that has everything to do with being in a relationship, or finding a perfect partner, or being with someone and having a perfect life together. Sharing a home with someone, sharing the property, the kids, and a romantic life with someone, sharing your physical body also with someone, and living happily ever after. I mean, this is what Disney taught us when we were growing up. This is what Hollywood movies teach us. Bollywood movies teach us as well about the never-ending, always fantastic or fantasyful, if that's a word, love. The pink Roman candle Hollywood love, where the lovers are just in the fantasy of each other. They just love each other so much that they could do anything for each other. They could die for each other. That I'll take a grenade for ya. put my hand on the blade for you, whatever the songs are, right? All the time we turn on the radio, it's all about love you so much, right? That's the kind of love that we are taught as we're growing up. And subconsciously we fall in a paradigm where we see love, and it's not our bad to see the love the way we are seeing. You know, we saw our mom and dad's marriage footage, how they got married. We saw their video of getting married. We saw how they are spending life together, and we see them seeing all these movies, and we see our friends seeing all these movies and television, and their parents and everyone around us doing the same thing. And what are we expected to do, right? There is no correct answer here, or even whatever the answers we do receive are on the lines of taking love or seeking love on the outside. We were never told that love could exist anywhere else but outside. We always have to find it. We always have to seek it. And no wonder why there's a lot of relationships, a lot of marriages, and a lot of marriages are very happy marriages as well, but still, like 50% of them, or probably more, I don't know, not sure on that, they end up in a divorce. Or a lot of relationships, they end up before they find their true companionship or true partnership, for that matter. And why does that happen? The love was there, the passion was there, the excitement was there. What happened? Why doesn't the Hollywood love last so long? Well, again, we are trying to find love outside of us. It's something that we're thinking that's external. In the same way, happiness in general, you know, we think it'll come from the outside. For example, get money, you know, get the best job, find the best looking person, most attractive person, funny person, you know, driven person, or sexy woman, or hot girl, right? All of those are the fantasies of the perfect someone who would complete you someday, right? Now, the sound that you hear is of the school. This is the teaching time. There's a school behind here, and it rings every afternoon. Anyway, so we have tried so hard to find it outside of us, but the answers are not there. We're still left with a lot of questions. You know, if you've ever gone through a breakup or something like that, and you were 100% sure that you were not wrong, who to put the blame on, right? And the question is not who to put the blame on, but the question is, could there be another paradigm? Could there be another way or approach of thinking on the lines of love? And that's why I mentioned Jesus here, because the kind of love that Jesus embodied was the love that comes from within. The man died, at least that's what the story tells us, or that's what the history tells us, that man died and gave his life away for people. He loved them so much that he didn't even retaliate. The love overflew. I mean, this story, I don't want to bring it from an angle of making anyone guilty here, okay? I'm just trying to see that Jesus Christ's legacy has lived for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and we still think of him. There is a greatness about this magical being or miraculous being that we still think of him, we still talk of him. Then he must have lived. He must have lived in a way that a lot of us can learn from. And maybe we can bring those attributes to our lives to make our lives better. So again, what is this love that comes from within? Could there be something else apart from finding love outside? That's the question. I mean, really think on that. Like, I don't have answers here. I'm just here to stimulate your mind a little bit, to kind of take you to a point where it's like, if I am not getting enough of something, then do I really need to stop and feel like a failure, or do I really need to stop and take a closer look at things? Could there be another way of thinking? Could there be another way of living apart from what we are fed from our social conditioning? I sometimes experience bursts of love from within. It's not a continual or gradual state that I'm in all the time. I'm not always love, oh love me, love you, love the world. I'm not always like that. It's impossible for me at this point, at least. I don't know how development works with human beings even. I'm not there yet. Probably I don't know. But I do know that I'm on my path, and so are you. And in a way, you and I are not different. We are basically the waves that are part of the same ocean. So, these bursts of love, these eruptions of love that come from within in me sometimes, they feel amazing. It's nothing even close to the Hollywood love that we talk about. It's exhilarating, it's exciting. It is full of passion. It has nothing to do with outside or someone outside. It is just there. And I get to experience these things from time to time. Again, as I said, not always. I have moments when I'm pissed. Pissed off, lazy, angry, frustrated. All of the human emotions that we all go through. I experience that. But after looking at my emotional patterns really carefully, I have discovered that within me that there is a dimension where I feel this kind of love that comes from within. And my urge is to kind of introduce you to that. I would want you to take a closer look to your own emotions. Separate your emotions with your real self. Your real self is not you getting pushed by life. Your real self is something deeper than that. Let's start getting in touch with it. See your emotions as something that's happening away from the real you. Again, think of it this way. Nothing is going to matter. This is a brief period of physical existence. There's no permanence about it. How many years? We don't know. We're always one heartbeat away from the physical death. And if we embrace this truth, then you actually start living. You actually start enjoying the presence of being, the presence of just existing. And when you look from that paradigm and you see the world from that place, then the same things that were there around you, same things, same relationships, same friends, everything same. There is a different quality to them just by changing your perspective on it. And it starts with finding that deeper love from within. I think that Jesus understood this. And there's a lot of wise men who have walked this earth. Of course, none of them were like Jesus Christ because he's exclusive. He's one perspective of it. But there were other men too. Like, for example, I want to give an example here. Like Buddha. He experienced higher states of being. The topmost one is called enlightenment. don't even understand much of that. But there is a state where you live and you are embraced by the inner love. It emanates from within. And I was just reading or listening to his audiobook recently, some Buddha's teaching, right? And he kind of talks about the same thing too. I'm like, so Jesus Christ, Buddha, all of these spiritual teachers that I am attracted by, well, I'm drawn towards, are kind of speaking the same language here. Again, just opening up a perspective. I want to finish this with a little story here. And it goes like this. Once upon a time, Jesus Christ was just walking and he wanted to rest a little bit. So he found a tree. It was in a lawn, of course, and this lawn belonged to a lady named Magdalene. Okay? Beautiful house, a lawn, and a tree, and he wanted to rest there. He had no idea who this place belonged to, but he started resting there. Now, I heard this story from an Indian sage. His name was Rajneesh Osho. And I heard the Hindi version of the story, and I'm translating that into English. Again, I don't know much about the actuality or truth behind the story, but this is a story that I found really fascinating, and I thought I want to share with you because it gives us a perspective about love. So he was walking, and he found a tree, and he started resting there. When he was almost done his rest, he was approached by Magdalene. Now Magdalene, as Osho said in his story in the Hindi version, and this particular Magdalene was a prostitute, and he was approached by a lot of high status men, kings, prince, and she had high standards, so she would reject a lot of men. But he was drawn towards Jesus Christ's energy and his inner or external beauty, and he thought that this man was wonderful, and she was drawn towards him, and she approached him, and she invited Jesus Christ to come inside the house and rest for a while. To which Jesus Christ replied that I'm done doing my rest, and I must continue on my path. She got a little offended, and she said that, can't you gather enough love for me to come and stay for a while in my house? I'm inviting you. Jesus smiled and said that maybe in future I would come and rest, but now I must go on. Again, she said, can't you gather enough love for me that you can spare some time for me? And since she mentioned love here, he said that people may come and may show you love through their gifts and their appreciation and all other ways, but the kind of love that I have for you and the way I love you, no one else in this world can love you. And he said that to her, and he walked away. This story should give us a little perspective on the love that I'm trying to talk about here. If you have experienced those states for yourself, and you have done anything out of love that had nothing to do with you, and that was nothing personal, and I want you to think of those moments when you did something for someone else and it had nothing to do with you. Think of those moments and really question where it came from. A lot of miraculous stuff happens when people act through that intention, through the intention of care and the universal love that I'm talking about here. So think of those things here, and if you want to mention, you can mention down in the comments. It's up to you. It's totally up to you to mention that. And that is it. That's all I want to say. This is Christmas time. I wish you happy holidays. I wish you all the best. Take care of your health and have a beautiful time in this winter. It's beautiful. Peace.